Let's welcome Dan Day.
Thank you very much. You're looking at a brand. The way I look, the way I'm dressed, the way I talk, the way I walk, thanks to an old hockey injury, because that's what we do in Minnesota growing up. I should say Minnesota. We play hockey. Sometimes we get hurt, right? But most importantly, what I have to say to you today. All of this goes into your perception of my brand, the value that I bring to you. Now, if you're looking at a brand, guess what? I'm looking out at a sea of individual brands, just like walking down the aisle at my grocery store, and I see this packaging calling for attention. What is it about you that jumps out at me, makes me take notice? Everything you say and do is a commercial for your brand. Take my friend Todd. Todd worked for an organization in Minneapolis, global company. One time Todd's boss came up to him and he said, "Todd, I need you on an assignment overseas in Saudi Arabia. You're the best person we have for this product, and I'd like to send you over there, but it's over the Easter holiday weekend. You don't have to go if you don't want to, but you're the guy I would choose to go." Todd thought about it a little bit and thought, I have some leverage here. So he said to the owner of the company, "I'll tell you what, I'll take on the assignment if you pay for a little detour on my way back, and I can go through Egypt. I've always wanted to visit the pyramids." Volley over to the owner. The owner of the company said, "All right, we'll do that on one stipulation. You come back with a picture of yourself in front of the pyramids on a camel." Todd said, "I'm up for that." Off Todd went. Todd has a strong individual brand. Todd was a person who could relate to people on both a personal and professional level. His strong individual brand helped to grow the AccuStream brand, the company that he worked for, to help that brand to grow and to thrive. Todd was my definition of a brand tender. I say was because Todd passed away from brain cancer on June 15th. At Todd's memorial service, his wife Judy got up and she spoke about the impact that Todd's company had on his life and the fact that Todd was blessed to work for an organization like that. In fact, she said, because of AccuStream, Todd got to see and appreciate the world, and the world got to see and appreciate Todd. I was like, wow, at a funeral, talking about the company that Todd worked for. Following Judy, a coworker of Todd's took the podium, started to tell some stories about Todd, including this Saudi Arabia story. He said what Todd did to the culture of that organization was incredible because of his sense of humor, because of his get-it-done attitude, and because of his general demeanor and his ability to communicate with other people within the organization. So here we were at a memorial service talking about culture of an organization and the impact on our personal lives and, of course, our professional lives. Because think about it, we spend most of our waking hours, don't we, with our organizations. If we're not engaged or aligned, overused terms, then we can't grow the culture. Your organization's culture becomes your brand. All of the people with all of the individual brands and personalities, styles, generations, cultures, come together to create the DNA of your company. You also, thanks to social media, have employees, ex-employees, customers, former customers online talking about their perceptions of your brand. That's what goes into creating your brand. Your culture of your organization becomes your brand. Likewise, your communication style becomes your individual brand. Now, you might be a driving style communicator, if you're thinking about what you need to do after this meeting or tomorrow when you go into the office, even as I'm talking. You might be a driver. You may be an expressive style communicator. If I saw your face pop into the picture of the news feed at the state fair, you're trying to get some exposure and have some fun. You might be an expressive. A lot of expressives in this room today, right? Some of them on stage. You might be an analytical style communicator. If, when you go through a drive-through and place your order, the person says through the intercom, "I'll have your amount when you get up to the window." And that drives you crazy because you want to count out your money ahead of time and maybe even get it to the exact change when you get up to that window. You might be an analytical. Now, you may be an amiable style communicator if you don't agree with anything I've said this morning, but you'd never tell me because you don't want to hurt my feelings, right? All of our individual communication styles go into building and growing our individual brands. Our brands then come together in our cultures, in our organizations, to then become our brand of our organization. Brands are not what you think they are. They are not advertisements. They are not Super Bowl commercials. They are not your marketing. They are not your buildings. Your brands are built by you. Your brands are built by people. Now, I have a request of you. If you see me today, when you see me today after this, I'd like you to come up to me and say, ask these two questions. "Hey Dan, what's a Brandtender? And what can you do for my organization?" Now let's practice this together real quickly. First of all, ready? "Hey Dan, what's a Brandtender? And what can you do for my organization?" Thank you.